Hello, hello, and welcome to the new world of Melvor. We have opened the Atlas of Discovery. Shoutouts to Malx, who hooked me up very kindly with a free expansion. Of course, I would have been happy to pay for it. I've loved this game for like almost 4 years now, but I'm not gonna lie, it does feel pretty sweet to have a little bit of that VIP treatment, so thanks so much for that. I loaded up the expansion just to make sure everything was running smoothly and that there wasn't any like errors or anything like that, and it looks all good. So now it is time to start exploring. I have not learned anything about what is going to be included in this expansion. I haven't watched any trailers or anything like that. So we are just going to work our way through it bit by bit. I think there's going to be a lot to discover, pun intended. Already, I see something very intriguing that we have to use cartography and discover ritual sites in order to find new trees to cut, which is super, super hype. I think that's one thing that a game like RuneScape really excels in, that an idle game being purely menu based, I would have thought would have a really hard time with, is a sense of discovery and questing across a great world and finding new things just by kind of looking around for them and not just unlocking them by hitting certain thresholds. And this game's had a few things like that, but I think this is where that feeling is really going to emerge in a way that I'm really excited to see. I don't even know where to begin. Here we have two new skills, cartography, as hinted at here. Uh, okay, sweet. Okay, this looks kind of like Settlers of Catan, with our nice honeycomb grid detailing, various terrain and what have you. So I don't really want to start clicking around yet. I don't necessarily want to, make mistakes just by throwing myself in and guessing what things are. But already I'm like very, very excited by this. So far we only have one square unlocked. There's a surveying action. Notably, this falls under the non-combat skills section and not the passive section. So this is something that we have to like set our character to, the surveying. And it looks like we kind of iterate through surveying the same areas. Like this will level up the survey level and get me some skill XP. Or I can unlock these new tiles, get some points of interests. Okay. I'm kind of getting it. I'm probably not getting it. Then there's archaeology. So you gotta find dig sites in cartography in order to dig them up in archaeology. I love it. That's such a nice integration of these two new skills. And I'm sure, just like we saw in woodcutting, there's going to be like mining nodes or rune crafting zones or whatever that we'll discover as well. Okay, cool. Makes sense. All good. Oh, this is so neat. It's like Animal Crossing. Okay, so maybe the artifacts have some utility to be used, but then I can also choose to give up my first copy of said artifact to put it in the museum. And there's a ton of these. This is so exciting. I have noticed our overall completion has dipped down to a pathetic 85%. Skills, of course, going to take a big dip since we're nowhere near close on either of these. The mastery for them as well. I've noticed mastery has gone down for quite a lot of skills, which hints at, new stuff for them. Items, of course. Huge tanking, all sorts of stuff we need to do on the item front. Wow, it occupies a full scroll of the screen, the new items. You love to see it. You love it, and yet you fear it. And of course, new monsters too. It feels like already there isn't as much of like a combat focus. Like Throne of the Herald, right there in the title. That's the dude you gotta fight. This motherfucker right here, the Herald. Whereas here, it's more about the Atlas of Discovery, where we're unlocking all sorts of new things across a ton of content across the game, and I don't know, like, I'm sure there will be some unprecedentedly hard dungeons, but this plus the fact that the level cap wasn't increased makes me think that it's more like a lateral exploration rather than just another step on top of the steps we've already climbed, which is really exciting. And some new pets. Want to get these guys ASAP so they can hang out with all my other little buds. Yes, yes. Good job, book. Good job. Okay, where do I start? Let's look in the shop. Blessed Bone Offering. You can get an additional prayer point from each bone you bury. That's pretty huge. But we need to get a Dark Altar, which I assume is maybe an artifact from archaeology. We can decrease our cartography interval, but we need some cartography levels. A bunch of... so there's like different tools you use. Okay, that's very fun. One dig map slot. Yeah, okay. There's some new dungeons we're gonna have to grind our way through 100 times each. We need to discover a labyrinth. And then these are like really nice. Pretty major upgrades, but we need to get some artifacts first. This looks all the same. This we can still wear. We can still wear our normie maxed skill cape, but our dude... Oh, we're still wearing it. Huh. Does that mean that there's a superior? Like we still get now normie superior? Because this is 100% base game, so maybe that's 100% base plus throne. And then we're going to see... yeah, 100% Throne of Herald completion. And then here are Atlas of Discovery exclusive things. So this skill cape, that skill cape, and then the mega cape of completion. Okay, okay. I really like that I don't have to take off my current super giga cape because I love that thing, and it would be so annoying to have to hop around between different skill capes and stuff again. Okay, so that's all cool. Bank looks the same because we already like went through. There was a whole bunch of really nice UI and quality of life, QOL. I was gonna QU what? All of those updates came in the previous patch, which is really nice because you get a little bit of time to adjust to the UI, and they can kind of like canary these changes a bit separately. They don't have to worry about everything they're doing breaking at once. So we've already kind of explored all that. The bank looks the same otherwise. Let's look at more combat areas. This area contains one or more barrier monsters. Barrier can only be damaged by summoning familiar attacks. Any damage dealt by the player, including damage over time, has no effect on the barrier. Regenerates... Okay. Let's fight it. So these things have to be taken out. We have to get 125, 141, 60 damage from just our little buddies before we can start hitting it with our sword proper. Oh, but we can't even fight there yet because we need to discover it. I see, I see. The iconic cave. Okay, okay. So it looks like it's all coming down from cartography. That's like where we should actually start. And I assume it's the same here. Oh, we can fight these right away. Okay, let's see how this plays out. That does nothing, but our buddy is depleting the barrier. Okay, that's fun. This is like an additional need for summoning, which was, you know, summoning has all sorts of benefits, but this little attack buddy benefit, I would say, was, you know, like a non-starter. Like, it didn't really add too much because it was only hitting for like 30 or 40 or whatever. It never really moved the needle. Maybe I just didn't have the right setup for it. Like, I think the dragon one and stuff is better. Cannot attack or evade attacks. So I'm getting crystallized. Hmm. I see. So only my buddy is fighting right now. Who is my buddy? Ah, so they changed how this works. Now they have base summon max hits, so I should get another buddy equipped right now. I gotta think the dragon's strong. Yeah, let's get in there with the dragon. Still not doing a whole lot. Okay, there we go. Interesting, interesting. The theming of this being around like crystals and barriers and stuff is kind of, I don't know. I don't know how else to do it, but it's like not intuitively connected in my mind with, oh, I have to fight this with my little guy. But I really do like this focus on giving your little guy something to do. Okay. We got some new items. Very exciting. They don't do anything. Oh, this just gives me prayer points. Sure. I can also get... not much. Let's fight a crystal smasher. I guess the barrier thing and the crystallized thing are not always one-to-one. It's just in this Slayer area that we're seeing the crystallization mechanic. So right now, yeah, we got some nice hits here. We should be able to wipe out. Does this thing drop anything interesting? Just sapphire bolts. Okay. And then the final boss. This might be actually pretty tedious to fight because I'm on... Or I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh no, it still matters because I've got melee buds equipped. We're still tearing through it pretty quickly though. Not that this guy drops anything too crazy, but we'll get our name on the board by taking out some new monsters. We'll we'll start chipping down that percentage bit by bit. Okay, but this is interesting. I could see how at a much higher difficulty level, this is going to lead to some really interesting Pokemon type strategy of what is my little team going to be? What kind of synergies can I come up with? Like, you know, this is just the very naive approach and such. I'm not surprised that it's only taking out random guys in this low-level Slayer area. Come on, come on. Get in there, Dragon. Get in there, Cyclops. Okay, nice. And yeah. Okay, and then these other ones... Oh, we can access the crystal depths, and I assume these guys are gonna have the same gimmick. So I'm not even gonna deal with that right now, because that's a master difficulty one, which might actually be hard no matter what. And I definitely don't have the summoning set up to fight these guys right now. These we've all dealt with before, all right. And then a whole bunch of dungeons. Okay. All right, feeling like I got a little bit of a handle on new combat stuff. Again, I really got to think of like what is my ordering here. Right now, my agility setup is for skilling, which is the biggest investment in terms of like switching gears between skilling and combat. I'm already in the skilling gear, and I would kind of like to max these out pretty quickly and wear that sweet super cape. So maybe the priority is that. Let's go through the rest of the skills, see what has changed, if anything. Ooh, okay. So we can get some new plots, but they require artifact unlocks. I love how integrated artifacts are into all these other skills we've seen, and cartography, like finding these locations of new trees and stuff. It's just like, it makes it feel like it's always been there, you know? And it's like such fundamental things. Like, of course I want to get more farming plots, right? Like, it's not just some nice to have. It's something that's so essential to just doing what you're already doing, but better. No more tree plots, though. Well, trees were already pretty stacked in terms of... Look at how much experience this is. This is crazy. Okay. Township looks roughly the same. There's probably some new tasks. Yup. New tasks added to existing tiers as well, probably involving archaeology and cartography. Let's see what tasks we can do already. Ah, okay, these are just fun. Mirror Shield, I think, is a new item. I don't have that. Poor junior farmers are gonna get annihilated sometime soon. Eyeballs, we can get some eyeballs. These we can do. The confetti crossbow, I don't remember where to get that. But this is totally doable. These, I've probably killed like 800 of these, 8,000 of these even. Nice. Bunch of crossbows? Crossbows. That's exciting. Whole bunch of summoning. Dragon superiority remains evident. No new throne tasks, this makes sense. And then a whole bunch of stuff that I don't even know about. How exciting. I almost don't even want to look at these because it's kind of like spoilers. Like, I'll come to them once I've done them. But I don't want this straight up telling me, oh, you know what the last thing you're going to do in this expansion is? That's not as exciting. Fishing looks the same, but I think my fishing mastery is not maxed. Yeah. So there is something new to fish, but I can't even see where it would go. Like, these are these new? Yeah, we've fished all these. So I think it's going to be like a new pond pops open once I discover it on the world map. Fire making looks the same. It's probably, burning those new logs, but everything looks like the same UI. Ooh, a new material. Let's mine some crystal. Let's get it going. Oh yeah, look, I just love these pop-ups. It's just so satisfying to see the number just like pop higher and higher and higher. And you get the nice like fading numbers away too. All right, what can we do with crystal, I wonder? Maybe make some crystal armor. Ooh, there's pure crystal too. Oh, but I'm mining so much crystal right now. Can I even switch to pure crystal? The rest of these are all the same. So big crystal theme. We fought against those crystal enemies. It looks like we can make some crystal equipment. I'm gonna get some of this too. Why not? Why not? Why not? In smithing, imbued bars. So with barrier dust, we can create these glowy bars. Now, is this under bronze? What do we make with these? Where do we get this dust? It wasn't dropped by anything that I was just fighting that had a barrier. But maybe some of the other barrier monsters, like ones that we need to discover on the map, will have it. And then crystal gear. This makes sense. Oh, refined crystal. Maybe that's crafting? Because that's one thing that RuneScape has that this game's never done, is the idea that you get unrefined gems, your uncut gems. This is how I win, etc. And then you refine them. There's a separate action to make them usable as crafting material. So that's another step we'll have to encounter. And special items. Interesting. Dark steel shield. That's hype. I like these. I like that these go here and they're not just upgrades. It feels more flavorful if you have to actually craft them, and it requires like a crafting level or whatever, presumably. Where would it say if it requires a crafting level? I just assume it does, but I'm like gigamaxed, so it's all good. I can handle it. But this is pretty sweet. Oh. So this is how you properly fight those crystal enemies. You don't just have to wait until your buddies do them. You can gear up just to fight them. Okay, makes sense. But yeah, I really like this, because this is something else that RuneScape, I think, does a good job of, is like, you're in a quest or you're trying to get some particular item, And it's not just that you get the ingredients and combine them and you're done. There's also like a skill requirement and often like a particular time and place you have to go to. You have to go to a forge or a bone crushing machine or whatever. And I think that's just kind of neat. It's like a little more immersive, and it just kind of creates this sort of like cross game reward where, you know, all of the different paths are kind of woven and tangled together. Oh, you know, I need to get my smithing level a little bit up in order to make this thing that I can make from that thing I was just given by this quest or whatever. It's all good. It's all really cool. Okay. Thieving, I think, is the same. Let's check out the little mastery hint. Yeah, thieving, no new content. That's fine. Special items as well. Very cool. And then maybe there's like crystal stuff in here. Sure. Crafting. Ah, so we need to get the barrier gems, crush them into barrier dust. Meanwhile, we take our crystal, crystallized mithril fragment. I wonder where fragment. I can't read. I wonder where you get that. Okay, neat. I like how so much stuff seems to be kind of targeted at early and mid game too. They're like really fleshing that out. It's not just piling more and more stuff onto the end game. I think that's like very forward thinking in a game where I really sincerely believe and hope that this hasn't hit its popularity cap yet. Like, I think more and more people are still discovering it. The Atlas of Discovery. And so it makes a lot of sense to want to like really enrich every stage of the game, because if they just find out, oh, the latest expansion is a bunch of stuff that you're not going to do for like 5 months, maybe not that exciting. I think they did a really good job with that with both expansions so far, but this one especially, I'm really noticing, like, am I really going to care about making a barrier version of my leather? Probably not. I'm going to do it, and I'll still get some satisfaction from doing it because I'm filling out my item log and mastery and stuff, but it's not like it's necessary for me to unlock other content. But it just makes the sort of upgrade path all the more complex and varied. Rune crafting. I see there's some special runes here. Yeah. All the unholy stuff. Sure. Some new low-level potions as well. This upgrades the damage you're doing to hit barriers. So this seems like kind of the major combat mechanic they've added as like barriers, situations where only your summon is dealing damage, situations where you're crystallized, you can't attack, you can't even dodge attacks. You need to kind of like mitigate these factors. So that's kind of neat because like even though I'm like gigamaxed, I'm like a walking nuke, these aren't things that I can just do trivially, right? Like I still need to like invest in some new gear and some new strategies in order to mitigate this. Ooh, unholy prayers. Now that's exciting. I didn't notice that before. Ho. Can only be used when you have at least 2 unholy items equipped. And these are like offensive prayers. Most of the other prayers, like there's some prayers that enhance your combat abilities, but these are like curses. Dumping stacks and marks and stuff. I feel like this has a big chance to be very, very strong. Because, like, it's like percentage boosts. And once you start getting into enemies that have just insane amounts of health, that's where these things start to really win out. Just like when we were fighting against the final bosses of Throne of the Herald, it was all about setting up the curses that do a percentage-based damage. Okay, very, very cool. Where were we? Herblore. Yeah, the unholy stuff. Cursed stuff. You have to give them an unholy mark, and then you can apply random curses. That sounds very fun. I imagine there's now skill potions for cartography and archaeology. Actually, there doesn't appear to be. Interesting. Okay, sure. Agility, I think we already checked and it looked the same. And under mastery, it was the same. Summoning, we got some new marks that we must discover. And then... maybe it always showed the max hit. Yeah, maybe it always showed the max hit, but it matters more now. Like, the fact that this thing hits for 217 and reduces their damage reduction is actually insane. I'm glad I made 400,000 of these. Okay, astrology. In the last video, I was talking about how I made sure to get a whole bunch of dust for this because I didn't want to miss out on new constellations. But it appears there are new constellations for the... Oh, here we go. Okay. Can study it a little bit. And then check this out. Boom, 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 boom. What a speed boost. What a speed boost to our route back to full max. How could I hesitate for a second to do that? I'm like very tempted to just study this up to 99 as well, but there's other things I would rather do. Other things that are even more exciting. But yeah, I'm really glad that I put myself in a position to do that. I would feel so bad missing out on those. And then here, this kind of just replicates the crafting thing. Same with this. So you turn the logs into dust. You gotta find these unholy trees. Okay. The rest of these look roughly the same. I never thought to do this. This might actually be a more cost-efficient way to get summoning shards, especially since the doubling item chance kicks in. Okay, but I think we've explored mostly everything besides the new skills. So... let's jump in. Okay, so this is where we currently are. I'm going to try to figure it out on my own. If I screw up, whatever. It's not going to be irrecoverable. I'm already not optimal. I've never been the optimal player for this game. Let's see what we can figure out on our own, and then we'll read the game guide. Okay, so we're already here, so we can't travel to here. We can go, let's say, here. And survey it. We're surveying it. What do you think about taxes? What do you think about the news? What do you think about Barack Obama? What do you think about pork? What do you think about Cardi B? What do you think about taxes again? See if you changed your mind after you thought about all that other stuff. So this is taking a while, which I guess makes sense because this is an idle game and we shouldn't expect things to happen automatically, especially since, wow, there's a lot of these. There's a lot of these, but there's not, you know, an insane number of these. It looks like there's maybe on the order of 30 by... I don't really know. Oh, wow, you can scroll it too. Okay, so there's 30 by 30? Yeah, like 30 by 30. So what is that, 900? That's a lot. Okay, so we've already surveyed this one enough to start finding other stuff around it, which is really cool. And I guess if I click auto survey, it's going to, so it's like indicated which ones it's going to next from auto surveying. Okay. And I can click around without stopping surveying this one. The fact that it is highlighted in green means that I'm still surveying it. Now, surveying it doesn't mean that I moved to that location. My "you are here" thing has remained right in the middle. Okay. We're getting close on this one, so we'll see what happens when it fills up. And then this is where you can create a dig site map, which will then allow you to do archaeology in that spot. Okay, sweet. We have surveyed an undiscovered point of interest. Go there now. Travel costs, I think we can afford that. Zoom. Point of interest discovered. A new start. Take a deep breath. You survey your surroundings. Oh, this is so cute. I love that there's a little flavor text here. You survey your surroundings. You've reached the beginning of a massive adventure that lies ahead. We found a pittance, a snack, and a weapon-like tool. This is interesting, though, because I wonder if this is kind of encouraging you to, on a new account, kind of like play the game via the cartography rewards. I don't know. It wouldn't be reasonable, I think, to excuse me, expect them to like build the skill out to enable people to do that, but just getting like the bronze dagger and the shrimp, I'm like, yeah, that's what you need to start the game. Okay, let's go here. Survey. Because this is a dig site. And I think that will be what allows us to start doing some archaeology as well. And we're closing in on our first level, which is exciting. Few hex mastery bonuses. These are huge. These are huge. Cthulhu. Oh. So, yeah, this is the total number here, I'm sure. This is so huge, though. This I'm so motivated to finish this. Not just because of the bonuses, but because it's like really fun and exciting too. Okay, so what happens when I click this? Dig site maps are required to excavate dig sites within astrology. First, we need to create some paper. Now we have a ton of logs. I'm getting little previews of the new logs. I've got a lot of mystic logs. I think we can make some paper. Can I do this in parallel with surveying? I guess let's find out. No, okay, I can just do this. So let's make some paper. Let's see how this works. It might be that we have to finish surveying this first, but whatever. I know that there was some township tasks involving paper as well. So it doesn't hurt to just get a bunch of this. All right. We have a -2 chance to preserve. It defaults to -2. And then you have to come up with ways to increase that to the positives. That's very funny. Okay, sure. All right. Let's make a dig site. Dig site created. No dig site. No. None. Can't refine. Can't create. Okay, so that's because we need to finish surveying this, I think. So let's do that. In the meantime, yeah, okay. So we can't do anything there. What can we do in the meantime? I don't know. Just be excited. Just generally feel excited. I guess I should have done this right away, and then I could have explored other stuff while I was doing it, but whatever. Just scrolling around. All this stuff that is so familiar to me. But yeah, I appreciate that it's... Yeah. I don't care about this anymore. We found an old village. You discover a time-worn village, constructed from weathered wood and straw. It's as if it has been abandoned for countless ages. Now we can create a dig site map for the old village dig site. We provided you with a free dig site map so you can begin excavation straight away. I love it. And I'm excited too because right now, you know, this is kind of generic. Oh, it's an old town, whatever. But I'm sure there's so many opportunities for them to expand the lore of the game by allowing you to find this like history and stuff. You know, like we've already seen that we're going to find like some dungeons and such, which is super exciting. Okay, let's do some digging. Show discovery. Oh, okay, so you can replay these. I love it. Okay. Yes, let's select a dig site. So the dig site maps will degrade, and because there's probably way more dig sites on the map than there are slots here, I guess. Alright. Only one artifact size can be pertained by action. So select... So I can specialize in... Oh, I want to find a large artifact. I only want to use the shovel, or... I think I'm okay with spreading it across like this because it's the same total odds. We can't upgrade it yet. Or can we? We can. Let's upgrade it. Why not? Only 2 experience. This is the lowest amount of experience I think I've ever gained. Ever. Okay, so it's going to take a long time to upgrade. Sure. What about refine? Lower values are better. Huh, I wonder why. This looks like kind of percentages at first. Sure, because this just costs money. Yeah, I have infinite money. Oh, I could only choose... 3 out of 3 refinements. Alright, well, whatever. That means we're really set up to find tiny artifacts. So let's find some tiny artifacts. Look at that. Let's excavate. Found nothing. Boom. 1 experience. Bro, it's not even... Oh, here we go. I was like, oh, my mastery's not going up. Why isn't my mastery going up, though? There we go. 1. Nothing of interest. Nothing of interest. Oh, wait, did we just find these? Ancient wildberry seeds? Interesting, interesting. Do we just... Yeah. Can we plant these? I would imagine they go here. Sorry! No, I'm sorry! Oh, we need at least 3. God damn it. I really am sorry. Level 2. So that didn't upgrade my odds. The odds seem totally dependent on the map. Nothing of interest. Ooh, a sieve! So does that mean my sieve got upgraded? Used to purchase a shop unlock. Right. But we need to get to level 5. And we need to get some iron bars, because apparently I don't have any iron bars. Okay, okay. Oh, you get to be like Indiana Jones. You get a whip and stuff. I get it. That's adorable. It's adorable. Okay. And we found... nothing of interest. Ooh, but we're almost at enough seeds to plant this, which is exciting. We'll get some ancient wild berries. Or I guess once you grow them, they just become normal wild berries. I'm not sure. Nothing of interest. Nothing of interest. Okay, okay. So yeah, upgrading it requires... Okay. So I'm not really sure in which order I should be doing things. Should I be trying to explore out the map first? Because that will unlock a lot of stuff across the board. But then I also need artifacts to unlock a bunch of stuff across the board. This thing is getting me, like, terrible experience rates, though. So I feel like ASAP I want to hop to another dig site. Which means that ASAP I need to have another dig site uncovered. But I don't even know where they are. So if I travel back to here, then other stuff opens up. Very, very cool. Very cool. I just love that this is so non-combative too, you know? And all the stuff, at least so far, that it's hinted that we're going to be able to find are like not, you know... weapons. Oh, find the ancient sword. I'm sure there's going to be stuff like that too. But we're being encouraged to look for just like kind of like humble daily life type things like seeds that we get to plant again. Plant. Yay! That's so exciting. I don't know. It's like so peaceful. I think that's something that Scape-like games and idle games like this can really capture that few other games can, is like finding a lot of joy and fulfillment from non-combative stuff, even in a world that has combat. Like you can go, you mean like Animal Crossing, you mean like Harvest Moon, you mean like 800 cozy core games. But it's like, okay, sure, but that's like an entirely other genre. This is still kind of like a fantasy RPG at its heart, right? It's just that it's a fantasy RPG that gives your character the space and opportunity to dig up bones. We just found some bones. That somehow feels creepier than killing something and taking its bones. But maybe I'm backwards on that. Let's look for a small artifact. Why not? Why not? Nothing of interest. Okay, I'm going to keep digging. Actually, I'm gonna start trying to look for this next dig site because I feel like that's worth doing. So let's go survey. Oh, first I gotta move here, and then I can survey. Let's go survey here. All right. All right, let's do this. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to learn stuff. I'm going to look at the changelog. And then there's even more surprises approaching too. This is not the update I'm looking for. Let's look at the game guide for these, I guess. Okay. Starting off, earn skill XP by surveying X's. That's what we did. So auto surveying makes sense. Sure. Makes sense. Pathfinding algorithm. My salesman is traveling. Survey range depends on which hexes you can survey. Light gray hex, and their vision. Dig site is exclamation, question mark is point of interest, makes sense. Point of interest, active point of interest, provides powerful permanent modifiers. Allows you to, oh, okay, so once you find certain places, then this becomes like another kind of like setup type mechanic. Which, before I complained, oh man, we're getting a lot of these setup type mechanics such that every time you kind of switch tasks, there's like 8 different things that you should re-optimize for. But a lot of them have been pretty streamlined, like agility kind of consolidates. Ooh. Where do we go? Farmer's Market! As you wander the outskirts of an old village, you encounter a farmer's market, standing alone yet brimming with life. Amid the tranquility, you see farmers displaying their fresh produce, their stalls a beacon for the villagers. You can't help but notice that even in its isolation, this market is a lifeline, shaping the economy and rhythms of everyday life here. Too true. I love a good farmer's market. That nailed it. Okay, where to next? So we can't survey these, but we can head towards them. If I move here, actually, I can survey this one, so why not? Okay. Let's keep reading the game guide. So yeah, it becomes like a setup thing, but this one is also very simple. You just find the active point of interest that is most relevant for the thing you're about to do and like move there. It's like 2 clicks. Maybe the money will start to be prohibitive, but I kind of doubt it. Like moving from one square all the way up here, all the way down to another one behind the video, the webcam footage. How much could that cost? A couple million? I don't know. Ports used as little shortcuts. All right. Make paper. 4 tiers of maps. Upgrade to the next tier based on the amount of upgrade actions required. Actions remaining. The 20,000 actions before it disappears. Okay, alright. Seems straightforward enough. And then kind of the hidden thing is that a lot of other skills have stuff where once we discover it on the map, it'll be unlocked. And I think that's something that they can lean into more and more as well. Because I noticed all the times it mentions finding something on the world map. You know, where did we see those? I guess they were combat. Discover the iconic cave in cartography world map, Melvor. So they could even add an entirely new world map later if they wanted. I think they're setting themselves up. Oh yeah, let's go. The Southern Lighthouse. I'm gonna keep reading them. I'm just having fun reading them. I just love this kind of prose that really captures the delight and newness of coming onto a new location. Like, I really like travel logs and stuff. The Southern Lighthouse stands tall and proud against rolling waves of the sea. It is surrounded by a lush garden filled with beautiful flowers and plants. You spend some time chatting with the local sailors who are resting and relaxing in the garden. It's a peaceful experience compared to the noise and chaos of the seaside. Beauty. And I like that some of them are just flavor, too. Like, that didn't really get us anything. It just showed us where we are. We've been chaining together points of interest. Eventually, we're going to have to start doing very generic ones. We're still getting a really pathetically low amount of experience per surveying action, but whatever. Okay. Yeah, so I think this is a great way to gate new content without just making it higher and higher and higher levels. Like, let's say you wanted to add a new ore for any number of reasons. You just hide it on the world map, you know? That makes it challenging to get to, but challenging in a way that's like lateral to other challenges you're accomplishing. I think that would be really fun. And then cue the smash cut to a video I'm making next year where I'm like, I can't find this friggin' chrysanthemum mine. I can't find it. I've been wasting all my money exploring the underworld map. But whatever. When I complain about things like that, it's because I know that it's only going to be more satisfying when I get them if I know it was something I was complaining about doing first. It charges up the satisfaction. Okay, let's look at the archaeology game guide. Make dig site tools. Just love the theming too. You know, it's kind of true to life. Although I feel like brush and trowel can be swapped. You know, because the bigger it is, the more like big chunks are going to be on it. The brush might not be enough. But I guess the trowel is for digging like tiny amounts of earth. I don't know. The sieve and the shovel make perfect sense, at least. Anyways. 5 rarities. Yeah. Legendary. So the current dig site we're on doesn't even have legendary stuff, I think. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, okay. Cool. Let's keep looking around. I don't know. I thought I was like almost done this one. No? For some reason I thought this was like way closer. Survey level 1 out of 5. Oh! So I finished 1 level, but there's 4 more levels. These are all out of 1. This one is Let's come back to this later, because that's going to take forever. Wait. So yeah, don't survey this one. Survey this one. Yeah, this is actively surveying. Right? Yeah, it just ticked up a bit. We'll come back to this one. Alright. I've been talking for almost an hour about this. As you can tell, I'm very excited. There's much to do, let's make a little goals doc. Wait, I can't remember what document I have open here. 1 second. Hee-haw. Yeah, that was smart of me. Because I had passwords for a few things open. I am not what they call a safe and intelligent streamer. Okay, so what are some goals we can have with this new expansion? Discover the whole world map is a very exciting one. That's one that I'm very compelled to work on sooner than later. Fill up the museum. Max out the 2 new skills. Well, we can put the separately. Max out cartography. Max out archaeology. Get all new skilling items. Get all new combat items. Beat new dungeons. Like, obviously some of these are strict requirements for other things. But basically I'm like listing these out and then I'm going to try to put them in some sort of order. And I also have to be cognizant that in the near future I'm going to have to idle a lot. Alright, so we discovered that. Nothing doing here, but that's fine. Now we can go to here, travel, and start exploring this. Let's put on auto surveying, why not? This seems like a reasonable order. It's gonna get stuck here for a while, but sure. Now, if I want this stuff to go faster, maybe like get all new shop upgrades. So that's going to take a mix of both discoveries and artifacts. This is tough. I think these are like the last ones. Because we unlocked dungeons and Slayer areas and all that stuff as we're doing this. But I don't think we need to do these to unlock any of this. And as I said, I'm set up the skill right now. This feels like it will require artifacts and stuff, and I'd much rather fill out the museum than start using them on skilling items. Some more intermediary goals. Find the place with unholy wood. I want to do that. To-do. This is really helpful because it'll like speed things up, but this is like my first exploration goal. I think this is probably actually much later. I don't know. It's not like I actually have to do things in this order. But it's so nice to have goals. It's just so nice in life to have goals and to actually feel confident that you can go and meet those goals. Like, for example, I'll get a little personal here. It's the Harvest Haven Farm. You discover a humble farm sitting near a vast and lengthy river. The structure appears to be made of natural materials with a large arched roof and wooden walls. It's a charming and peaceful sight, and you wonder who might call this place home. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, let's do this one next. So then we can start getting at these. Or actually this one. These are both only 1 survey level, so this one next. Yeah, so in real life right now, I'm starting down the long, long road of purchasing property. And I'm probably quite a few years out from being able to afford switching my lifestyle to the mortgage life and putting down a big down payment and all of that. But, you know, it requires lifestyle adjustments and really kind of focusing your spending and saving and having all these sort of benchmark goals for how much money you need to have saved at different milestones. And it's like a pretty radical shift, and it's also just quite novel to have such a concrete goal in mind. But it's satisfying. It really has motivated me to change my relationship with money and to, you know, it just kind of feels more empowering whenever I make a little value conscious decision. You know, I skip buying myself some sort of little indulgence or whatever, and I can think to myself, yeah, you know, maybe $10 isn't that consequential, but that's like 0.01% of my goal, you know? Just seeing it tick up a little bit, just like this game. And I think this is the beauty of this game. I just, you know, for example, getting the expansion pack for free. That's a nice little teeny chunk of my goal. But it's just really drove home for me how satisfying it is to play a game like this that can give you that sensation of like, I have a big goal in mind, and I'm confident that all of these little choices are slowly adding up bit by bit to that big goal. And just how rare it is in real life to be able to know that you're doing that. I think that's what provides so much of the good feelings from playing this game. And also the fact that, you know, the buying property goal is a long away. It sucks, but it's true. It's very hard to afford property. Whereas beating this game, I'm going to do it. I can do it. I don't know how long it'll take me, but I'm going to do it again. It's nice to have that confidence. It's nice to have it all within your control for once. Okay, I think I'll leave it at here. I'm probably going to make quite a few videos in the next few days, just kind of going over stuff I unlock as I unlock it. I don't know exactly what schedule I'll have, but as I said, you know, the Toronto Film Festival is coming up, and I'm still quite busy with work and other stuff, so it'll be probably pretty sporadic. But hopefully I can check in whenever something really exciting happens. Yeah, that's all. Shoutouts to Malks again, helping me buy property. Shoutouts to all of you playing this great game alongside me. And shoutouts to the rest of the development team. I don't know how many people work on this game now, but I think everybody's pulling together to make something really special here. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.